Hello everyone, Sheek here with another Transformers review, and today I will be reviewing the 2001 Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus, and this is the Japanese edition, and got him at I do believe it's called Back in Time Comics and Toys in Missouri? No, I think it was Missouri. Somewhere in Missouri. Liberty, Missouri, I think is where it was. Anyway, for $100, he has everything except for the missiles. As far as I'm aware, that's all that's missing. For figure-wise, he didn't come with the instructions, so I had to go through a PDF. Gotten mostly everything figured out. Still haven't quite figured out the combine mode, but I can't exactly do that until I get him back home to San Diego, where I can, combine the two brothers, who apparently were at odds at one point in the show, because I didn't watch the whole show. Anyway, yeah, this is him. You can't really tell exactly how long his legs are, but they are very long compared to the height of his torso. So yeah, as you can see, his gun doesn't really go into his hand, and if you could attach it to his thumb right there, I don't know if that would be a good idea, but you can take it off. This is a gun configuration. Apparently it kind of has like 3 modes from what I could gather, because I was looking at a small PDF on my phone, zoomed in as much as I could, but you can get into this configuration, and then there's another gun mode, but pretty much just flip these around, then rotate this part right here, and then you have the other gun facing out. And then the standard, which would be something like this, and then where is it? So okay, something like this, where it is. It did say something about attaching to the leg. It looked like legs in the robot mode. Didn't quite figure it out. But this goes on the trailer in the car carrier mode, and that's pretty cool. Let's set that off to the side. I do think it's cool that they made him a car carrier like he was in the original show, the OG show, which is pretty cool. He is, like his brother, a parts former to an extent, although at least with Optimus, all you have to do is, the front cab mode is all you need to make the robot. Now, for the truck mode, you do need the super mode parts. But for him, even to get the basic robot mode, you have to parts form, which it does irk me a little bit. Okay, articulation.
I guess a little bit of detail. I did see a picture of the American release. The colors are a little bit different. The eyes aren't like quite like this. Detail. It looks like the plastic might be slightly yellowed, but I mean, it is probably somewhat older. There are some parts that seem pretty loose on him, like his arm. It can't even really support the gun. It just does that number. So yeah, this is for articulation. I guess I'll show it off as limited as it is. The head is on a ball joint. You can look up and down. Gets quite a little bit of wobbly, and you can rotate 360. Arms can go out that far, forward that far. Back not too far, but you can rotate this with it, so they can go pretty much back that far. Elbows are on a ball joint, but you can't get too much bend there because of all the chonkiness of the arms, which do come off. Flip around to reveal big hands for Omega Prime, I do believe that's what it's called. And then you do have wrists on a ball joint, which can rotate around. You have a hinge at the thumb and at the fingers, which also have ports you can put guns on. So you could hypothetically make him hold this ginormous thing, but I doubt that would go very well, because it'd probably just fall down. And then he does not have hip rotation, because this is just solid plastic up here. He can pretty much do the splits, but then he'd be resting on his nice chrome finished truck front bumper, which is actually really nice. Does have thigh rotation, so I guess you can maybe get a little bit of interesting posing, potentially. Legs can go forward that far, but don't expect them to stay up, and they don't go back at all because of robot or vehicle mode bits. And then quite a bit bent at the knee, but that is mostly just because of transformation. And then nothing at the ankles, and these feet are it's just pretty much platforms. If you look at them from the back, looks pretty bad. And you can see the combined mode feet for Omega Prime. So, and also he has one more thing. If you press on this, I don't know if he has
Other sound effects. I haven't unlocked them if there are, but yeah, very cheesy. Ultra Magnus transform, and I'm not even sure that's what it even sounds like in the show. Okay, so now we're done with his very limited, lackluster articulation. But to be fair, he does combine with Optimus Prime, and they had to make some sacrifices, I'm sure. But yeah, so let's get on to transformation.
So I guess we'll go ahead and pull off his legs. And then this is pretty much the cab of the car carrier, and I guess a tiny bit of the trailer. And this is the back part of the trailer, so let's tilt this down. Okay, so we want to go ahead and rotate these in, rotate these in, and then flip this back, and just flip this out, rotate around, and this is going to tab back into there. You can have these flipped back for just a little for now. And then this right here. What's cool is this is a ramp, so if you have any of the other like X-Bron or what was the other one? Speaking of which, I saw them there too at that comic book shop, which I'm probably never going to go to again because it's just, you know, very far away. It's not like I have really any reason to go there aside from the shop. But they did have some of the other, they had a bunch. Let's just say, if I had spent all the money I wanted to, I would have spent a few $1,000s easily. But alas, 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 I do not have that kind of spending money. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this tabbed in, or pegged in. And then we pretty much have the back end of the trailer done. And then if you want to, you can put this gun back here. You can also put it up here, but kind of want to wait until we get the rest of it combined so that it's, well, doesn't get in the way of, the gun doesn't get in the way of pulling some panels back. Okay, now we are to the upper torso. So we just kind of want to undo this right here, fold these in, then, let's see, okay, rotate his head around, and then, okay, and then this part is really confusing, or at least it was confusing for me when I first did it, but you kind of have to lift this up so that you can then pull this back like this. Let's see, make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, like this. And then his head. Also, it took me a little bit to figure this out, but you kind of get this filled in there, and that actually fills in a gap right here, but it's covered up anyway usually, so it doesn't matter too terribly much. And then this right here, this part, there's holes right here, and pegs that go into those holes. Just press together, and then rotate these around. Rotate around. I guess then press that in, and get that. And then the arms, just gonna rotate in to make sure the tires are facing out. Rotate in. And get everything just all nice and rotate in, and then peg together, and peg into the rocket booster looking thing. I guess this is not the first time. I'm assuming that's for Omega Prime mode is these, so I wouldn't be surprised. It's definitely not the first time. I guess Optimus Prime having a flying super mode is nothing new. And just get the hands rotated situated like so. Then get these just rotated forward, clip together, and then these will flip back, but we'll do that in a moment. Get these, nice chrome, I love that Autobot emblem, and that nice grill, which goes to show that this one hasn't been messed with too terribly much, even though some things are kind of loose, but I think that's just more of just because, you know, combining type things always seem to get a little bit loose when things have to parts form, in my experience. And this is supposed to be here. I have to think this moves more for Omega Prime. Like I said, there's just some things I'm kind of having to do just a little bit of guesswork on. Then you get this in here. Now this is the part that I struggle with the most. You have to get these two pegs to tab into those two holes on both sides, and that's the only thing holding the back part to this. I feel like this one's actually a little bit sturdier of a connection than on Optimus Prime, because he just seems to kind of like he's going to fall apart a little bit, even though I've only messed with him not terribly much, actually. There we are. Just flip this back, and here we have him in his car carrier configuration, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely, you can see where they got the influence for the Siege Ultra Magnus Cybertronian truck mode. Definitely very reminiscent of Ultra Magnus from RID. And right here, you can see, obviously, the combined Omega Prime head mold. And then there's also, looks like a light, so I'm assuming that either there's more batteries I'm not aware of, or there's another thing that once you get in Omega Prime, there'll be lights and maybe another soundbite of, I don't know, it's supposed to be them two as one character. Let's see, that's on double hinge. Let's see if we can get it to go down. There we are. This is probably how it's supposed to be. There we are. Okay, let's see. Okay. Anyway, this is pretty... let's see. Or maybe not, I don't know. But however you want to have it situated best.
But I think it probably sits a little bit better this way, and besides you can then have it like this to drive up, which actually does show in the instructions. It says to load car carrier, and then it shows you just untap these. See how they can just roll up here, and you can lift this up, have another one roll into here, and then just close up the ramp. And what's really cool, or not cool, but the only downside is with the other robot bits is that you can't store more than like 2 cars. Well, okay, actually 3, because if you have one, and then have one here, or no, I don't know. you can probably get 2 up here and 1 down there. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. There we are. So, this is, oh yeah, one last thing. Weapon storage. As goofy as it is, I honestly like it like this better. Who knows, I might not really even do much with the gun in future things, just have it stored away for later so I can say I have a nearly complete, because I don't have the missiles, Ultra Magnus. But he is really cool, and he does, like I said, seem to hold it together better than his brother. But I will say, this is definitely his strongest mode, and I do love all the rubber tires, the detailing on here. Love the chrome, like I already said. The only thing about the vehicle mode that gives it away, well, I mean, it is kind of a futuristic thing, but is the Omega Prime head in there. But you don't really see his hands unless you look underneath, and I mean, I guess it looks like Transformer shins a little bit, but that's on the back of the truck. So I'd say this is actually a pretty decent figure for what it is. It's really nice, I think. Anyway, that's about it for Transformers 2001 Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus, or I guess it's Supreme Class, I think is what it's called. Anyway, but Ultra Magnus, and if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.